Okay, everyone, welcome back. I really don't like the way this microphone sounds. I just listened to it when I did a quick playback. But it's nothing I can really do. It's really unseasonably hot. And the husband is playing the game unseasonably hot. It's hot down here. So I'm sorry about the quality of this. As soon as I get paid again, maybe somebody donate again, I'll buy a new mic because I think I blew this one out with all my screaming. I mean, these components can only take so much. Alright, so let me try at least to, sorry about the sound and quality, but please bear with me. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my screencast because I got so many new plugins, it's not at the bottom anymore. Okay, so we got our screencast on so you guys can see what I'm doing. And to put this in Marvelous Designer, we need to switch from blue Jake to red Jake. So this Jake is rotated in the proper orientation for us to use in Marvelous Designer. So once we have him all set, we're just going to right click, file, export, and as an OBJ. And make sure that you have the selection only selected or else you're going to get everything else. So I'm going to put him on my desktop, and I'm pretty sure I should make a project folder because that's the responsible thing to do. And then put this here, Halloween, and save. Okay, so we got Jake already. Let's open up that Marvelous Designer. Kind of sad that I realized that you can also hear music too. So now my whole plan of jamming out while I make stuff is gone moot. I gotta create in silence again. Well, as much silence as I can with company down here.
Should I turn it down?
It don't matter if you turn it down or not. You're gonna still be screaming. I'm okay with it. It's fine. These people know how I roll by now. I only have, out of the 5 to 6 years of me doing this, I only had one video where I had perfect audio. One. And I think, well, I think it's just once we get out of the basement and back upstairs with all that sound, good acoustics, that's the living room. Okay, so we have our Jake, and we have him in here. He's a little faded, and I don't know why, but it's not a big deal. He looks dreamy and misty over there, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so we're going to start with some really basic costuming. We can try to go look up some resources, like here in the men's costume, and you can see that majority of it, the men's costumes, are usually either one-piece bodysuits like this, or really just decorative two parts. So I know that doesn't make sense, but try to go look on here for inspiration. When I did it before, I found that majority of the men's costumes are like one-piece suits or very long shirts and pants just decorated differently. It's very few in between where you have different things like, like skeleton and Goku, skeleton again, skeletal Goku. Hey, sure, they got your costume.
Awesome.
Alright, so, Killer Clown, stuff like that. So, Krunk, that's awesome. Oh, had I seen that. Somebody be dressed as Krunk, considering I'm all Yzma on a daily basis. Now it's funny because it's true. Okay. So let's make the regular old bodysuit. This bodysuit can get you through a bunch of tough times. You can be anything from a skeleton or Goku or a superhero, but with a cape, which is always fun to make. I love rigging capes. Capes are so much fun. So let's start with that. We'll make a superhero suit. Now, it's not like your super suit because, it doesn't have gloves, so it's not qualified as a super suit. And technically, I should not be having capes on this. But, yeah, no capes. But, what else? Alright, so first things first is that we're going to pretty much create a pattern that encloses the whole body. up into the wrist, because remember, like I said, I don't have hand bones to rig, so that would be gloves out. Alright, so first you want to start at the chest, and you want to start at where you're going to, where the dip in your neck is going to be. If you want to have a full collar, you will start at the tip of the neck like this. If you want to have a dip in your, your costume like this, kind of like a V collar, like Superman. Superman has his neck revealed, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Oh.
Now that I think about it, I want to say no. Let me look at what does Superman look like.
Yeah, let's look that up real quick.
Superman.
I forgot Superman is one word.
No, it's a squid.
Alright, so Superman has his chest sort of like his clavicle sort of exposed. It's not a full-on turtleneck thing. And the reason why I don't really like turtlenecks, or at least working with men in turtlenecks, is that they have they're different heads, and their heads don't start at their head. It's kind of like the neck. So when you put that on, they're like, oh, well, this doesn't fit my neck. You gotta tailor this to my head. And I'm like, nope. Yeah, my head is clipping through the collar, so I'm like, no. Okay, so I think that's the one we could do is, how about, let's make Superman. That seems fair. Maybe I should change the title. Hanging Out with Zero. Effing Up Already. The reunion tour. Alright, so, let's keep that clavicle open. So we're going to start right here. We're going to go up to the shoulder, over, down to the wrists, and I like to expand it just a little bit. Why not? Up to the armpit, straight down. Keep that lines going down to his hips. You could make this separately and do like shirt, then pants, and then sew it all together, but I just prefer to make it one long pattern. That way I can, I only gotta break it in half once. Okay, cool. Now we go to the center line and we unfold. See what I mean? Now I would love to just leave just this crotch part, just having one, but we need to sew here. Unless, you're one of those type of superheroes where your crotch is exposed, and we can leave that seam open. But I can't imagine that being that being a thing. So let's add another dot here and drag it up to make pants. Hey, I've been in Second Life for 14 years now. I've seen some stuff. And lots of those type of superheroes out there. Okay, so now we have to sync, copy, paste, flip so that it's behind, put it behind. I'm kind of sad because I missed that sale. I've been buying up resources while I was in quarantine. I bought a lot of clip art, I bought a lot of classes, I bought a lot of brushes. And there was one company that had a sale on full perm. I keep calling it full perm because I'm used to Second Life. Oh yeah, and that's what I'm doing. Right now I'm segment sewing the edges together. You guys remember, make it straight. Lines to lines, make it straight, sew together. No crooked lines here. Yeah, make it fancy. Alright, what was I talking about? Well, damn. I forgot. Well, that's it for my conversational piece. I totally forgot what I was talking about. This is one of the prime reasons why you're supposed to take your medicine every day. I honestly can't remember what I was talking about. There were those kind of superheroes. Your butt is out. Crouches, really, baby. Crouches. Oh, gosh. I don't even know what I'm going to do for Halloween. What? I feel like the Pinky and the Brain. Same thing I do every night, Pinky. Order some expensive candy and sit there in the living room eating it. mindlessly munching a box of expensive Japanese candy. Yeah, it is much too good for children. Kids don't deserve these Japanese gummies. They can't appreciate all the nuances of flavor and gum. I'm not allowed to send that to my nieces and nephews no more. Not since that incident. I sent it to my niece and my nephew one time. I gave them a whole box of Japanese candy, Pocky, and I forgot what the other one was called. Well, anyway, I sent them candy, and my sister-in-law was not happy because I gave it to my nephew, and his eyes lit up. It was like, that's the sound he made, and I was like, well, I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna hit that dusty old trail back home. And she's like, what are you leaving for? We usually gotta kick you out. Nothing. Yeah, they were all hyped. After that, I wasn't allowed to give them nothing. What was that? Pocky, gummies, coffee candy. I know, I'm a terrible person. Let's see. So we have some underwear here for our soups. And all I keep thinking about is that, whoa, you got souped. I don't want this dip in here. Oh. And the good thing about this bodysuit, when you got like draws on the bodysuit on the bottom, draws on the outside, is that this can also be a really good Batman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just make it black and gray, and it could be that twerking Batman.
Never not seen it.
Yep, me either. That's forever burned into my memory. Okay, so at this point, we're going to have to work with layers. And you're going to put this underwear layer on top of your bodysuit layer. Otherwise, they're going to sit here and collide and fight, and we don't want that. We want peace and tranquility in here as hard as humanly possible. And I just broke it. Get away. Let's see, what else is going on? How's everybody handling the Backstreet Boys tour? It's been around for a while now. I don't know how many cities and states they gonna hit, but they really giving it their all. Alright, so then we got this. Although this is a mistake, you could be one of those people who may like this. So you could leave it like that if you want to. But no. We're gonna make one cheat. We could yank up, press play first, and yank his shorts up like that and give him like a super wedgie. But I reckon we can try to do something a little more fancy, kind of more tasteful, and put in a seam across the butt and sew the top part here. That way they're permanently up there. And if we need to adjust it, we just got to keep moving the seam up and, there. It's kind of like those Halloween costumes that you buy from the store where the pants are already sewn onto the back of the bodysuit. Same thing. So, there we go. It's up there. It's sewn. So if we need to yank these up, we just hold down shift and scoot it up. And you see it's going up his butt. And it's staying there. All is well. Although I'm not entirely sure what Superman's underwear looked like, but something's telling me this is wrong. So let's look at this picture again. He's got he's got straight up drawers on. They're not even shorts, they just drawers. Okay. Allow us to draw these shorts. So
I don't have anything. Oh.
We need to make this curvier. So we're going to use our good old friend, the curve tool, and just push it up a bit. A bit more. There we go. Do the same thing on this side. Pull it up. I think that's as close to, like, as legally close to that as I can get before people start, hey, you're violating our copyright. You violated the law. No. If we have an issue with this dipping down, we can still do the same thing we did with the back and then sew it up here. But I'm actually pretty good with this, so I'm going to leave this as is. However, it does seem to be trying to do its own thing, dancing about. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to see, look at it, doing its own damn thing. Go back. This is why we have to do what we said I'm about to do. We're going to freeze it into place. There we go. Now we don't have to deal with that right now. Okay, next is the fun part, and that's our cape. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the absolute top priority, highly classified, secret way of making capes in Marvelous Designer. Not many people know about this. It's a lost art. Whispered only amongst master seamstresses and tailors. So look closely as I show you the way. So first thing I want to do is we're going to close this back up a little bit, make it a little closer together, like a dish. Right. And then I'm going to remove this whole line whatsoever, just have that flat. That makes things a lot easier. And I'm going to zoom into where we want to put our anchor point on the cape, and I'm going to put it right here. So that's one dot right here, and I'm assuming one right here. Double click and in the seam, then we're going to select it again, press Control C, Control V, hold down Shift and make sure they're lined up fine. You may want to hold down Shift and put them on straight, but you know me, I can't see jack, so this is as straight as it's going to be for me. And now here we go, the cape. You watching? Because it's super fast, super advanced. Impress your friends and family. So you ready? Here we go. First, we take the rectangles, then we click on the corner, and then we drag it down into how long we want the cape. Then bam, cape. Done. And this is going to be our cape. It's just a rectangle. It's not fancy. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to attach this cape too. Now I know you may be tempted to just, grab the pin and pin it to the body, but we want to make sure that it doesn't go nowhere. So we're going to add in some more points. 1 point right here, 1 point right here, and this is where it's going to sew into. And then we're going to try to sew it to it's probably a good idea to save about now, but I like living on the edge, so I'm not going to save just yet. So here we go. Now here's where I made my mistake. 1, I didn't save. And 2, because it's behind the character like this, I forgot to fudge. What did I forget to do? I know it was something, but I totally forgot to do it. Flip it. I forgot to flip our rectangle. So I'm going to pull this apart real quick, and I'm going to give it a little flip. And then I'm going to take my edges here. Oh, I need this. Come on. Reverse seam line. Oh, I guess that ain't the right way to do this, is it? Oh no, it's actually flip. Alright, so it'd be a whole lot faster just to delete this and make another super advanced rectangle cape. Whee. Okay. Now, because it's going behind, we need to flip. Then put our point here. Here. Although, in retrospect, we could put a third point here, but that's stupid. So let's just put one long seam across the back like this. Now I could sew just this to there, but it seems like there's a real reason why I shouldn't. probably should have did a demo of this first before I thought of making it. But, whatever. Too late now. So, let's see.
Fuck.
Oh. Dang nabbit. How do I sew this cape onto this back? Oh. I gotta think about how the Halloween costumes do it. Whenever we get a cape or something on there, it's just one strip to the back. No fancy points. Just sewn right to the back. And then you press play. Then boom. Cape. Looks way better than the first cape. Now as you see, the cape is flowing through the butt cheeks. But that's to be expected. Because we didn't add the proper layer. So it's colliding with that. So we're just going to select our cape. And shut up, babe. I'm trying to be professional here. And put this on layer 3. And then play it again. And then you see right out of the cheeks. Laying on top. Now this cape is a little long. But I guess that could be fine for people who want to stand dramatically like our cape is dragging on the ground. But hey, that's why they said no capes. That stuff's expensive to clean. So you can just grab the end here, hold down shift so it's straight, and then just pull it up a little bit. There we go. So it's long but not dragging on the ground because that's extra work. Okay, so we have our Superman cape. We have our this. We got the drawers. We got the suit. We are ready to go. Now, one thing that I would like to do is first pause this, and I want to assign them their own materials. That way it makes things a lot easier. Plus, rearrange our garment on the board, for the UV mat. So this is red. This is blue. And as you see, those draws are white. It is not violating anybody's copyright. And if anybody says so, that's their own business. Alright, let's make them orange. Now, one thing you can do to save yourself some time is you could try sewing an emblem onto the chest right here. Now, one thing that I like to do is personally just draw the emblem onto there and make it the texture. But one that would be kind of nice for your customers if they can just input a plain texture onto the suit without having to change the whole thing. So what we want to do, just a little extra, totally optional, is to draw out another square, and we're going to put this on layer 4, so it's on top of everything. 4. And do they have an internal square? Yes, they do. So we're going to create an internal square right on your chest, and I'm just going to sew it to the garment, which really just needs like this. Okay, I made it too long, but it's alright. Look, you can always shorten it. How does Superman keep his underwear up during this thing? I would imagine he would get massive wedgies. That was always something I used to think about when I was a kid. How does Superman not get wedgies? I asked my social studies teacher that once. He's like a really big superhero fan nerd guy, and he says, well, obviously he has atomic butt cheeks.
Obviously.
I'm like,
Everyone knows that.
oh, okay.
Where have you been? Everyone knows that.
Uh-huh. So I was like, oh. Mr. Shortsman, Mr. Shorts, if you're out there, I still remember that. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm slow. Alright, so now we have this on your chest. And if it's too pulley stretchy for you, just grab this, pull it up a little bit more, try to make it as square as possible. We want it square, but we don't want it, Alright, good enough. Let's move it out in Blender. And let me give it its own material color. And green. Okay.
Ow.
Okay, that's yanking it down. We'll play around with it. If not, we'll just resort to. You know,
Ah, my fire.
that's what you get. So we're gonna save the project so we can come back to it.
Eat it. Eat it. Great sword. Ah.
Okay, and export. OBJ. Ignore that folder. I'm not planning to make clothes for nothing. Alright, as in this, and that. Okay, so that's how we make our Superman. But I have another thing I want to work on. The last time I tried doing this, a friend of mine was like complaining. He says, I'm so sick of it. Whenever people make superheroes, men get the full bodysuit and girls get those leotards. How demand gender equality? More men in leotards. So, to help out that friend, I'm going to make another video real quick, which is like part B of this one, where I show you how to make a super leotard for your man. Although, I wonder how I'm supposed to handle the bulge. Oh dear. Men's clothing is quite challenging.